Hi, this is Ellie, and welcome to Chamber Chatting. I am here with Mike Cannon of Studio Productions. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Ellie. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Studio Productions has a really unique service. They are a message on hold servicing. So it's one of those services that you always hear about, and you always hear them, and you always see them, and you might use them, but you don't always know they're there, which is an interesting service. So Mike is a small business owner, so he's a great candidate for us to talk about during Small Business Summer. So Mike, tell me a little bit about your business and maybe how you got started.
Well, it's funny that you'd say people don't know that. I had a customer actually tell me that one time. She said, "Oh yeah, I've heard on hold messages before, but I never know anybody who did them."
Right.
So how do you think they got here? You know? So yeah, our company was formed in 1992 in Houston, and I went to work for them doing voiceover. Not that you can tell it with my allergy-ridden throat at this moment, but I did voiceover work for them starting in 1999.
Okay.
And then in 2008, the owner of the company decided it was time to retire and offered me the opportunity to buy the business. And so I did, and it's just been great fun ever since. I always had that entrepreneurial spirit and wanted to do my own business and just never had the opportunity or maybe the guts to step out on faith and do that. So it's just been great fun since 2008. We've made giant leaps and bounds in technology and services that we offer and processes and stuff to keep our customers happy. And it's just a great business and way better than a real job.
Well, and message on hold service is truly just that. It's the message that plays when you're on hold with another customer. So we use Mike's studio production here at the chamber for our message on hold. So when you give us a call and we put you on hold, that's what you hear.
And you should do that because you'll really like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny because there are four things that you can hear when somebody puts you on hold in your business. That's either that annoying beep, beep, beep that some phone systems have, or silence, or a radio, or information about the business. So the beep beep does nothing for you except annoy your caller. The silence, with so many calls coming from cell phones now, makes them think that their call is dropped. So they hang up. Question is, do they call that? A radio, number one, is illegal. I don't sell that way, but it is illegal to use that music. You don't have a license to use it today. But the biggest thing is, what if an ad for your competitor plays on that radio station while your caller's waiting on you to pick up the phone? So we replace it with information about your business. They already had an interest in you, or they wouldn't have dialed your number. So why not engage them and keep them on the line until you can help them?
Absolutely. So Mike, tell me, you're a small business owner. What resources in our community have you utilized as a small business owner?
Pretty much all of them. When I bought the company, it was headquartered in Houston, and I moved it to the Woodlands because this is where I lived. And so I've used a lot of service. I'm just thinking of some of the people in the chamber that I've used. Dawn Candy, who I guess now is Dawn Lovelace. She is awesome. She did some promotional products for me, one of which was a letter opener that I gave out at a trade show, the Dental Society's trade show in Houston. And literally 3 years later, I got a call from a dentist's office, and he said, "Hey, so I want to do business with you. I want to go." I said, "How'd you find out about us?" He said, "I'm not really sure, but I had this letter opener here with your name and number on it." So, that kind of stuff works forever and ever and ever. So, and she did some other stuff for me as well. Bob Keplinger, Action Coach North Houston, is my business coach, and he has taught me. He's forgotten more about business than I'll ever know. And really was what kick-started me into positive growth in the business. So I try to utilize as many chamber members as I can because those resources are there and available and easy to find.
So what other ways are you involved in the chamber? And maybe you kind of touched on this, but what have those involvements meant to your business?
Well, networking is probably the biggest thing. Because that's where you get to meet people and expand your network. Not everybody that you talk to will be able to use your service, but everybody you talk to will know somebody who can use your service. So networking is a great way to meet people and expand your personal network so that when somebody says, I tell people all the time, nobody's going to walk up to you in Kroger and say, "Hey, I need a new on-hold message to go to work here." But somebody might walk up to you in Kroger and say, "I'm looking for printing. or I need an electrician or a plumber. And so if you network and you get that word out to people that you meet and talk to, then they're perfectly full sources for you.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Mike, as a small business owner, we love that the small business community in the Woodlands area enjoys giving back to the community. And you give back in a lot of ways. Can you tell me about some of them?
Yeah, we do. And that's the thing I like about being a community-based business. We do business nationwide, but we live and work here. And a lot of what I do on a personal level, we do through our church. But as a business, we like to provide our service to nonprofits. For example, Pregnancy Assistance Center North, who's also a member of the chamber, we provide their on-home message service. So they get the benefit of what they probably wouldn't want to pay for because they use their money resources for other things. So we like to help nonprofits out like that and do that sort of thing. And then on a personal level, I fly. I'm a private pilot. And so I donate my time and my airplane to Angel Flight, which is an organization that flies patients in and out of the area for medical treatment. Their doctors don't want them to travel by air because of their immune systems being a lot of cancer patients that we fly into India. And so that's a great thing that I love to do. I get to fly, which I enjoy, and I get to help somebody out at the same time. So that's a way that I really enjoy it.
That's incredible. And I love that you've been able to utilize, as a small business owner, you get a little bit more flexibility to then do those kinds of things. It's definitely a terrific.
Yeah, I'm the boss. I can go fly this
afternoon. Exactly. That's right. No golf today. I'm flying.
And I've never had an argument with my boss. We agree on everything.
Isn't that amazing?
It's awesome.
I love it. I think that's such an important thing for small business owners. I love that the thought here in the Woodlands area is not, on the small business owner, we have limited resources, I can't give back. It's absolutely not that.
There's
It's completely
always
the
a way to
opposite.
give back.
There's always a way to give back, and I love the creativity that small business owners take.
A friend of mine has a HVAC company here in the Woodlands area, and he was in the 4th of July parade every year.
Yeah.
And he carried a trailer on the back of his truck that had a big portable air conditioning unit on it, and they had these big hoses of air that they would blow on the crowd.
Gosh.
And then we're on the other side of the truck throwing out popsicles to everybody.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so
that's awesome.
and that's so simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it cost him a ton of money probably to do that, but it's just such a simple way to give back and be involved in the community.
Absolutely, there's always a way. So Mike, I love listening to your history, and you and I and Holly have talked a lot about your history as in radio, actually. So I want you to tell our listeners a little bit about that and how you kind of got started.
I had this idol. His name was Buddy McGregor back in the day, long before anybody other than me in this room was born. And he was on KNUZ radio, and he was on from like 7 to midnight, and all the teeny boppers listened to him. He was just, our idol to listen to. So where most kids went to bed with a transistor radio under their pillow listening to a baseball game, I went to bed listening to Buddy McGregor play top 40 music.
Nice.
And I wanted to be Buddy McGregor.
Yeah.
So I had 2 girls that lived across the street from me. One of them got their driver's license, and I had them drive me down to the radio station so I could look in the window and watch Buddy McGregor work. And it was like the coolest thing.
Oh my gosh, I bet you were so excited.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I built what I thought was a radio station in my bedroom. It didn't broadcast anywhere but to a tape recorder. And I'd come in every day after school and sit down and do a 2-hour radio show and play my music and do my commercials. And
that is brilliant.
Pretending to be a disc jockey. Wound up putting an audition tape together and taking it to a radio station in Houston when I was 16 years old. And they actually, for whatever reason, had a miscommunication in their brains and offered me a job. The program director told me it was the worst audition tape he had ever heard, but he could teach me if I was willing to learn. And so I took him up on the challenge and started a career that's, basically lasted 44 years. Been doing audio production and, stuff. I tell people I create audio that sells. Yeah. And that's what radio is all about. That's, theater of the mind and all that kind of thing. So the really interesting part of that story is that fast forward a number of years, I got the opportunity to become the manager of the Houston Astros radio network.
Oh, cool.
And cool job, great time, got a World Series ring and all that stuff.
Nice.
That is
And
cool.
so it was great fun. But during the course of that involvement, one of my responsibilities was to call radio stations around the state and try to get them to sign up, become affiliates for the Astros network.
Mm-hmm.
So I called a radio station in Marble Falls, Texas, and I asked to speak to the general manager. And they said, sure, just a moment. They put me on hold. And in a moment, the phone picks up and he says, Buddy McGregor.
No way.
I said, are you the Buddy McGregor that was on the air at KNews in Houston 100 years ago? And he said, yeah, one and the same. I said, Buddy, I said, you're not going to believe this, but I said, you were my idol. I got into the business because of you. I wanted to be like you, and now here I am all these years later in the radio business.
That's so cool.
And he said, I said, I used to listen to you every night. And he said, Mike, when I retired from radio in Houston, he said, I remember you, and I used to listen to you on the radio. I said, are you serious? And he said, no, but wouldn't it have made a great story?
I totally felt for it.
I
was
did
totally
too.
intrigued. I was like, that's amazing. What a story.
So everything goes full circle, and and it's just been a great career. And then I bring all the skill sets that I learned through my broadcast career, writing scripts. I was the production manager at 2 radio stations over the course of the years, and that was my job, was to write scripts for advertisers and produce their commercials. And we all remember a company that used to be called Administaffs, now called Insperity.
Yep.
I wrote their first radio commercials when they first opened up.
Very cool.
So, I mean, there's all that kind of stuff that goes on. So that skill set, the production, the voiceover work, all of that ties together in what we do now with the telephone on-hold messages. And, we do some narration projects for some of our customers and stuff for website videos and that kind of thing. But primarily it's the on-hold messages. And then we added in-store music and messaging to our product line last year, where we do background music for restaurants and a dental office that wants to calm your anxiety in the waiting room, and they have, because that music has to be licensed.
Right.
So we provide the license and the music service for that, so they can play the popular music that they like to play. And then we can also add messaging to that, so in your restaurants you can promote your happy hour tonight and that kind of stuff during your lunch hours.
Nice.
So we provide that service as well.
Very
that all
cool.
ties in.
So that that's a perfect segue into kind of your story as a small business owner. So what is one piece of advice that you would want to give a fellow small business owner, or maybe one that's just starting out?
Network, and then do some networking.
Right.
You cannot overlook the power of networking and getting to know people.
And the resources.
Yeah.
That
And you know what? I probably, well, I don't want to say I give more than I get, but I give a lot of referrals, and that just pays you back.
It does. It comes back.
I'm a member of a B&I group here, and that's their whole premise, is giver's gain. And that networking opportunity with everybody you run into. I've got a neighbor across the street. Every time she has a plumbing issue, an electrical issue, needs a mechanic or whatever, she calls me first. Do you know anybody that does such and such?
Right.
And I like to be a connector. I like to connect people. And if you'll connect as a new business owner with people like that, they'll refer you, you'll refer them, and everybody gains from that. And then to take advantage of the chamber and the programs and services that the chamber offers. I've been to numerous seminars and talks and that kind of thing here at the chamber, and every one of them I've walked away with something I didn't walk in with that helped me in my business. So just take advantage of what you have.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
I just so enjoyed talking to you and having your stories.
Well, I know this is going to take a lot of editing to get it down to the time frame because I talk too much. But
no, you're fine.
It's been great
Don't
to be
you worry.
So, Mike, if someone was interested in talking to you or talking about studio productions and how that could help their business, where should they go?
They can go to messageonholdnow.com. Be sure and put the now on there. So you can get your message on hold now at messageonholdnow.com. Or they can call us at 713-222-1492.
Perfect. Well, again, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. This has really been a pleasure.
Thanks.
I'm Ellie P.
And I'm Holly P.
And this is 2 P's in a Podcast, where we tell you what's going on in the chamber this week. So next week, be sure to check out Business After Hours. It's our next Business Connection event on Tuesday, July 12th. It's at Consolidated Communication up on Loop 336 South, and it's from 5:30 to 7:30. So be sure to check that out on our website, woodlandschamber.org, and get the information. There's no need to RSVP. You'll just come in, you'll check in. We've got some fantastic raffle prizes. You're welcome to bring raffle prizes. And it's a great event. We usually anticipate about 100 people for this event, and it is packed out. So it's not one to miss for sure.
Absolutely. And also, guys, we have the upcoming Chairman's Ball honoring our chairman, Keaton McDaniel, who is amazing. And the theme this year is Havana Nights, an evening in the islands. It's August 20th. It's the 38th annual. And we are looking for tabletop decorators. Yes. This is a really awesome opportunity for you to showcase your business in front of a really large group of people. This event is very well attended. There's no charge to be a tabletop decorator. All you have to do is provide all the bells and whistles for your table. And it's really awesome to have 10 little small giveaways. And then, you get to actually go and mingle and network with all of the people that are sitting at your table, and you can tell them more about your business. So if you want to learn more about being a tabletop decorator, you can email events@woodlandschamber.org or just go to woodlandschamber.org just to get more information. You can also purchase tickets, buy tables. There's sponsorship opportunities still available. So again, it's the 38th Annual Chairman's Ball, August 20th, Havana Nights, and we are supporting our outgoing chairman, Keaton McDaniel.
Absolutely. So don't miss it.
I won't miss it. It's so much fun. And I can't wait for, the super awesome outfits because it's, it's Havana Nights.
It's black tie optional, and or you can dress with the theme. So I think we'll see a lot of people dressed in the
I think so too.
Year.
Yeah, I did the whole ball gown last year.
Yeah.
So overrated.
Well, it's fun, but not all the time.
No.
So this will be a fun kind of.
This
will be a fun change of pace.
Yes, I completely agree.
I'm gonna get it together here, Holly.
You will. You're good. You're good. So this is Holly P.
And this is Ellie P.
And this is Two Peas in a Podcast.
Thanks for joining.